So find yourself in a tall feeling, supported feeling seat. Remember, it doesn't really need to look a certain way, but I would recommend not crossing at the ankles or the knees. Instead, having feet more or less in line with the ankles, knees in line with your hips, shoulders in line with your hips. And then, especially for us typers and texters, be super mindful of rolling the shoulders down and back, maybe even imagining like pinching a walnut between your shoulders a little bit. Not 100% energy, just invite 10% up there. And then even take your chin down and back like you're pressing your head into a wall behind you. And you might notice, like in this body, I already feel a lot of like muscular activation just to sit taller and not let my head sink down. It's work. So be kind with yourself, but see if you can invoke that feeling of length. Press down into what's touching down and reach up through the crown of your head. Arms are resting, feet are hopefully touching down on something, and let your gaze go forward and slightly down where you can kind of lock your attention on a spot that's not moving. And mentally separate yourself from what you were doing so you can come fully now into what you are doing. Everything that needs to be done will be there waiting for you. We were talking the other day about, especially in our line of work at Lane County, the job's never really done. As soon as you finish one pile, another pile will be there. So I invite you, the one side of the coin is to think, oh my God, this is never going to end. I can't keep up. This is too much. And the other side of the same coin is, there's no need to rush because there's no real end to this work. And how lucky are we that we get to help our community in that way? Good. And now ground and center yourself, starting with what you see. So keeping your eyes fixed on that spot ahead of you or closing your eyes. Notice what shapes and colors and lights and shadows are in your field of vision right now. If your eyes are shut, it might be like specks and moving pieces, and that's normal. And notice where the walls and the windows and the doors are. Notice where the other people and objects are in relation to your body. Notice all the noises that you can detect. Maybe start with what's outside the room. And then notice what's inside the room. And then notice noises just immediately around your own body. Or it might just be a slight noise from your own breathing. Notice the air on your skin versus the clothing covering your skin. Notice the pressure of your body in your seat. And notice your breath without changing it. And if you wish, you can start engaging with your breathing by allowing it to come deeper, lower into the belly than normal when you breathe in, and allowing the air to escape a little slower than usual, preferably out of the nose. But if you're stuffy, blow out of your mouth like you're blowing out of a straw. It'll slow the air down for you. Just watching in and out like that. Noticing if a thought or a sensation or a feeling, an emotion keeps drawing your attention away from your breath, and acknowledging it. Remind yourself that it's normal and bring your attention back to your breath again. Do 2 more rounds like that. And then return back to your natural pattern of breath and notice if anything has changed so far. Good. Next time you breathe in, open your eyes if you haven't already. You might look around, take in the room around you again. It might look a little different. It's normal for lights to appear a little different, especially if you have natural light and the sun actually is coming out or getting covered up. So don't be worried. You're not going crazy. Probably scoot forward towards the edge of your seat a little bit and firmly plant your feet on the ground. And we're going to do a segment of joint freeing series today, but let's start with 6 spinal actions and a little bit of low back and pelvic stabilizing movement, especially if you sit a lot. It's normal to have low back pain. You know, we're not really built to just be locked in this 90-degree angle all day, but we have to get stuff done. So press into your feet, lift your toes off the ground and spread them out as wide as you can, and then put the toes back down and see if you can press into all of your toes and into the heels of your feet and activate your arches, really like you have octopus like suction cups. Like suck them onto the ground and lift the arches up right in the center. And notice if that feels a little different just as you press. And then activate the muscles in your legs, squeeze muscle to bone, squeeze your buttocks, pelvis in and up, belly in and up. Really draw your belly and organs in and lift them. So it's not just like sucking in your tummy to look thin. It's a lifting energetically up towards the center line of the body. Good. Shoulders down, arms are down, maybe resting on your lap, and then gaze goes straight ahead. And notice a difference just from an engaged sit, a mindful sit, how different this can feel, especially in the low spine. You might feel tenderness and pain, and that's okay. Just energize and allow the muscles to know what it's like to be fully supported by the musculature. Inhale, get taller through the crown of your head. And exhale, stay tall, but settle and get heavier from the waist down. Good. Next time you breathe in, bring your belly forward and chest forward. Let your eyebrows and eyeballs lift, but don't crunch the back of your neck. And then exhale, round your shoulders more than you tuck your tail and look down towards your lap. Back and forth like that. Inhaling, belly forward, chest forward, look forward and up. And exhale, round. Press into your hands. Inhale, pull with your hands. Really grip onto your knees, straighten your arms, squeeze your shoulders behind you towards your hips. And then exhale, really, really round, like you're a puppet on a string, and I'm pulling the string back between the shoulder blades. One more each direction. And then inhale back to the center. Continue what you're doing, or let's move on to a new movement. So arms come down out of your shoulders. And for a moment, stay here and really reach past the fingertips, pull the arms down out of the shoulders, looking ahead. Consciously relax your jaw and the sides of your neck and activate all the muscles in your arms to pull down. And notice where your right arm is in space. Next time you breathe in, bring the right arm either out to the side or up. If it comes up, feel free to lift the shoulder up towards the ear. Pull the two hands in opposite directions. Inhale, get longer through the crown of your head. Exhale, tilt over a little bit towards the left. And you can touch down on a block. You can keep your hand on your lap. I like to reach my left arm across to the opposite knee and use it as an anchor. And then I can sort of pull and get into the low back in a different way. Stay here and notice what it's like if you point your heart and nose down towards the floor. Stay for a breath. Next, inhale, come back to reaching way over towards the side. Big C curve shape in the side of your body. Good. Inhale all the way back to the center. Exhale, arms come down. Take a breath in the center. Fill yourself up bottom to top like a glass of water. Exhale, top to bottom. And then other side. Inhale, left arm either out or up. Remember, you can bend everything, elbow, wrist, and fingers, or you can really straighten like everything's glued together. Inhale, get taller through the crown of your head, reach the fingertips apart, and exhale, tilt over towards the right. Fingertips touching the block or on your lap or reaching across. Even with the support of your hand, try to use the muscles in the abdomen and the sides of your body and your buttocks to hold yourself together here. Soften your face, look forward or down, whatever helps you relax in the upper body the most. And experiment. What happens when you turn your heart and your nose down towards the floor? Really reach across diagonal to the corner of the room. And then inhale back to facing forward, leaning as big of a C curve as you can. Press down into what's touching down. Inhale, reach all the way back up. Exhale, arms back to neutral. Take a breath. Notice what's left over so far. Good. Inhale, arms out to the center, really gentle twisting now. So exhale, gently sway your arms to one side, and then inhale back to the center and sway to the other side. And I like to put the arms down when I come over, but you do have the option of keeping the arms coming out of the center of the chest and going side to side. Just follow your own breath and let your hips come with you. So some teachers might tell you, keep your hips pointed perfectly forward like they're glued, super glued into that position, and then only twist. But the lumbar spine really doesn't have a lot of give, right? We're about 5 or 8% range of motion in the low spine. So if you let the hips shift with you a little bit, it will give you more access into the lower part of the thoracic and make you feel like you can twist further. One more on each side. Try to do the same amount of turns to each direction if you're still moving. And then inhale yourself back to the center and exhale, the arms come down. Take a breath in the center, just neutral, filling up from the bottom to the top, exhaling top to bottom. Notice anything left over so far. Good. Identify your right leg, and then using either the pants as leverage, or you can grab your knee, or I like to grab the bottom of my thigh and like interlace my fingers. And then use the strength of your hands to hold your leg up. Let your belly be soft still and let the leg be super, super heavy. Okay. Flex the ankle, push through the heel, pull the toes back towards your body, and now point like a ballerina, really, really far down there. Back and forth at your own pace, inhaling to flex, exhaling to extend. And then come to neutral. Okay, turn the toes in to the side as far as you can, to the big toe side, and then rotate the ankle as far as you can to the pinky toe side. Back and forth that way a few times. And then come to stillness. Extend through the knee, really, really strong as best you can, and then bend. Again, let your hands hold a lot of the weight. If you have low back pain, I would recommend sucking the pelvis in and up, belly in and up for a little bit of support in the low spine too. One more like that. And then switch your grip so you are hanging onto the knee and it's higher up towards your chest. And see if you can draw circles with the knee to get into the sides of the hip and maybe also, yes, into the low back. Draw as big of a circle as you can without tipping forward and falling out of your chair. Make sure your chair is not a rolly chair when you do this at your desk. You will roll all over the place. And draw them the other way too. Switch directions. Good. And then carefully put that leg down. Before you move to the other side, notice the difference between the two legs. You might sense nothing, or you might have some sort of sensation left over, some shesha. Other side. So however you wish, grab hold of your opposite foot and then flex through the ankle and extend. Try to consciously relax the muscles in the sides of your neck and the tops of your shoulders. Just trust your hands to do a lot of the work here. Soften your jaw. Maybe even separate your teeth and your lips a little bit. Smooth out your forehead. Take yourself a little less seriously. Good. Side to side. So really push into the big toe edge and then push into the little toe edge. And then bend and straighten through the knee. And then switch your grip when you're ready. Let your hands help you and draw circles with your hip here. You can also kind of roll, like I like to roll a little bit of my weight onto the outer glute and hip. It feels like a little massage to me. But if you don't like that, you can stay super upright and not shift around much. You can control how much pressure, which makes it really adjustable for how uncomfortable you are that day. And go the other way too. Good. And then come to stillness. Both feet next to each other. Come back to a tall spine, arms resting, and notice once more any difference. Maybe comparing the two sides. Good. And then scoot back in your seat. And we'll do the same sorts of motions for the upper part of the body. So let your hands come out ahead of you. Arms can be bent or more straight, especially if you're tired or this is fatiguing. Feel free to lower the arms in space a little bit or even spread them out wider than the level of the shoulders. It's totally up to you. And real simple, flip the fingertips down towards the floor and then reach them up to the sky. Try not to move anything except the wrist. You can watch them if you want and notice if the two wrists or hands have a different range of motion from each other. That's normal. Notice if you see anything surprising, like if you have crooked fingers or rotating, spiraling fingers. That's all normal. But a lot of us don't pay enough attention to those tiny details. Good. And then come to stillness with the palms face down. And just like we did for the feet. So now turn the wrists in towards the thumbs, towards each other, and then out towards the pinky edge. Yeah. In and out like that. Nice and slow and mindful. Try to keep the wrists, pretty straight. Don't cock them out to one side too much. And then come to stillness. Flip the palms facing up and tap your shoulders, the tops with the elbows forward, and bend and extend, just like we did with the legs. Shoulders down away from your ears, jaw is soft, neck is soft, forehead is smooth. And next time your fingertips touch your shoulders, keep them there and then draw really big circles with your elbows, as big as you can. And go the same direction at first. It's okay if when you lift your elbows up, if the shoulders want to lift. Your eyebrows can't help you, Alex. Smooth out your eyebrows. And then pause and draw them the other direction too. And then pause. Let the shoulders rest. Let the arms come down to your arms or your legs, arms of your chair, I mean, or your legs. Looking straight ahead. See if you can restack yourself so you're super tall on top of your spine. And again, tuck the chin down and back just to remind your neck that it doesn't need to hold so firm. You can let some of the bones help hold the weight of the skull. That's how your spine is designed. That's why it's curvy, actually. Good. Okay. Stay super tall. Inhale and exhale. Just tilt the chin down towards the chest. Very small and smooth. Gently tilt the head over towards one side and then back towards the center and towards the other side. Back and forth, or you can come to one position and stay for a breath or two and then go to the other side. But keep your shoulders gently pinched behind you to remind the upper part of the spine to stay long. Move slower than you think you should. Once you've done approximately the same amount of turns to each side, come to stillness and place your fingertips on the back of your skull and slide your interlace your fingers and slide your thumbs up towards the occipital ridge, the round part of the bottom of the skull where it just meets the neck. You might find a little area where the thumbs fit in kind of nicely. Good. And then to any extent, draw the elbows in towards each other. Stay. Breathe really big into the top part of your back. Shoulders are pulling down away from the ears. Belly is still in and up for support. Keep your hands where they are. On your inhale, open your elbows and look forward. And then if you wish, you can keep extending to tilt the nose up towards the sky. Let your hands hold the weight of your head. Try to release the neck. Let it stay long. If you wish, nose can tilt up towards the sky. Chest and face can tilt up as well. Really supporting the weight of the head. Good. Inhale all the way back to the center, really neutral, and then you can let go with your hands. Rest in your chair. Press your feet into the ground, belly in and up slightly, shoulders down and back, arms resting. Fix your gaze on something ahead of you again that's not moving. And then remind yourself to release your forehead and your eyebrows and your eyelids. They can shut halfway or all the way. Unclench your jaw. Notice what's left over so far. Good. Let's try box breathing with our last couple moments. So imagine in your mind, or just for this 1 second, that your breath has 4 parts. So not just an inhale and an exhale, but also the pauses at the top of an inhale and at the bottom of an exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. So either imagining a square or just counting. Notice your breath as it is at first and compare the length of your inhale and exhale and the pauses in between them. Don't change your breath, just let it be passive and normal at first. And then for about a minute, notice what happens when you make all the sides, all the lengths the same number. So maybe you inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. Try it and see what happens, and you can stop at any time. Let's do this for 1 minute. I'll keep time for you, starting now. Finish the round that you're on. And then return back to your natural passive breath. Good. Stay where you are, or I'll invite you to bring your hands together, either in a prayer position with your thumbs touching the center of your chest, or you could stack your hands there and bow your head down towards your heart and your hands. And this motion is in gratitude of yourself. So thank yourself as sincerely as you can just for showing up. We all know that sometimes that's 99% of the work, and everything else is just practice. And remember that you have a body, but you're not just your body. You have a mind, but you're not just your thoughts. And you have emotions, but you're not just your feelings. As you're ready, your hands can come down. Let your eyes flutter open and up. Class is over. Thank you for coming. I'll stop the recording, and then if you have any questions or concerns, we can talk now or later about that. Have a good day at work.